In our last video, we explored 3 simple foods that can actually help reverse muscle loss after 60. We talked about spinach, which supports muscle strength through anti-inflammatory compounds. Then we covered Greek yogurt, a nighttime hero for muscle repair. And finally, chicken breast is one of the most effective natural sources of leucine, a key nutrient for muscle building. But as helpful as those foods are, they're only part of the equation. There's something else, something we often overlook that might be silently working against us every single day. And it's not what we're eating, it's what we're drinking. In today's video, we're going to expose a few beverages that seem harmless, and some are even marketed as healthy, but are actually contributing to weaker legs, poor balance, and declining muscle recovery over time. If strong legs and better stability are something we care about, then this is one conversation we don't want to miss. So before we dive into the first drink, take a second to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to the channel. That way, we can keep growing stronger naturally and together one small step at a time. 1. Energy drinks. Many of us reach for an energy drink in the afternoon when our energy starts to dip. That instant boost feels like it clears the brain fog and puts the spring back in our step. But here's the catch. What seems like a quick fix might be quietly draining the strength from our legs, especially as we age. The danger doesn't come from just one ingredient. It's the combination that causes concern: highly concentrated caffeine, a heavy dose of refined sugar, and a cocktail of artificial flavors and stabilizers. Together, these ingredients create a ripple effect that can throw our muscles and nervous system out of balance. Let's start with caffeine, which is a powerful diuretic. That means it pushes our kidneys to flush water out faster than usual. But water isn't the only thing lost. Along with it, our bodies also lose important minerals, especially potassium, sodium, and magnesium, all of which are essential for proper muscle function. When these minerals drop, our muscle cells start to misfire, nerve signals don't get delivered properly, making it harder to stay steady on our feet. That's when we begin noticing leg cramps, tremors, or fatigue after standing for just a short time. A 2024 study published in JAMA, the Journal of the American Medical Association, highlighted this exact issue. Researchers found that the high levels of caffeine and sugar in energy drinks can disrupt electrolyte balance, especially levels of potassium and magnesium, 2 minerals that play a key role in how muscles and nerves communicate. When these levels drop, the risk of cramps, muscle weakness, and motor control problems in older adults goes up significantly. Then there's the sugar. The amount of sugar in most energy drinks doesn't just add extra calories. It actually promotes inflammation throughout the body. When sugar is absorbed quickly into the bloodstream, our bodies respond by releasing insulin again and again to keep things in check. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, metabolic disruption, and chronic inflammation. And here's the concerning part, that chronic inflammatory environment directly damages muscle tissue and blocks the protein-building process our muscles depend on to stay strong. So, if we've thought of energy drinks as just an occasional pick-me-up, it may be time to think again. Those little cans are placing a heavy load on our bodies: dehydration, mineral loss, internal inflammation, and interference with natural muscle recovery. Instead of relying on energy drinks as a rescue solution, we're better off choosing something gentler and more sustainable. A glass of cool water infused with a few slices of cucumber or orange offers natural electrolytes without the drawbacks. And if we're looking for a light mental boost, a cup of lightly brewed green tea is a safer option, offering mild stimulation with far fewer side effects. 2. Bottled fruit juice. If there's one drink that tends to fool people more than most, it's bottled fruit juice. The labels sound wholesome: 100% fruit, no preservatives, high in vitamin C. But once we take a closer look at the ingredients and how it behaves inside the body, a less pleasant truth comes to light. This seemingly healthy drink can actually contribute to muscle weakening over time, especially in our legs. If we drink it regularly without keeping the portions in check, the first red flag is the sugar content. Whether it's orange, grape, apple, or a mixed fruit blend. A standard 8-ounce bottle typically contains between 20 and 30 grams of sugar. That's close to 7 teaspoons. And while this isn't added sugar like what you'd find in soda, it's still naturally occurring sugar that's been separated from the fruit's fiber. Without that fiber to slow things down, the sugar is absorbed very quickly into the bloodstream, creating a rapid blood sugar spike. When that spike hits, the pancreas has to work hard to release insulin and move glucose into our cells. But here's the problem when this cycle repeats too often. Our muscle cells begin to respond less effectively to insulin. This is called insulin resistance. And once that starts, it disrupts the muscle's ability to build and repair itself. It's important to understand that our muscles, especially those in our legs, play a major role in processing and storing energy. When muscle cells can't absorb glucose properly, the body loses its ability to use amino acids efficiently to rebuild and maintain muscle tissue. This is one of the silent reasons why, even with a healthy diet, many older adults still experience muscle loss, most noticeably in their legs. A recent 2024 study featured in the journal Nutrients shed light on a surprising connection. Drinking fruit juice without the fiber can raise the risk of both insulin resistance and low-grade chronic inflammation. And over time, those two factors quietly chip away at muscle strength, especially as we get older. There's also something else that often goes unnoticed. Diets that are high in fructose, the natural sugar found in most fruit juices, have been tied to greater calcium loss through urine. And while calcium usually gets all the attention for bone health, our muscles rely on it too. Without enough calcium in the system, muscles may not contract as efficiently, leading to slower responses and a greater sense of fatigue, especially in the legs after standing or walking for a while. So if bottled juice isn't as harmless as it seems, what should we be reaching for instead? Thankfully, we don't have to give up fruity flavors altogether. Whole fruits offer a much better deal. They come with fiber, help us stay full longer, and keep our blood sugar steady. For those moments when we're craving a bit of juice, mixing a splash of 100% fruit juice with water and enjoying it alongside a protein-rich meal can help slow down sugar absorption. And if our goal is to support muscle strength in the long run, we might consider keeping things even simpler. Plain water or natural coconut water can hydrate without the sugar spike. Plus, coconut water delivers a healthy dose of potassium, a mineral our muscles depend on to stay strong and steady. 3. Bottled sweet coffee. There's a daily ritual many of us have kept for years, sometimes even decades, starting the morning with a cup of coffee. But here's the catch. The kind of coffee we drink today is a far cry from the simple black brew we used to enjoy. More and more people are turning to bottled or pre-made coffee drinks, or grabbing a flavored latte from a convenience store. A caramel iced mocha, a vanilla skinny cappuccino. These may sound light, but the truth is, they often contain more sugar than a can of soda. Add to that the heavy cream, flavored syrups, preservatives, and industrial oils, and we're left with something that silently weighs down our muscles, especially in the legs. The biggest issue is the sugar. When we take in sweetened coffee first thing in the morning, it causes our blood sugar to spike, then crash. Over time, this roller coaster wears down our insulin response, and when insulin stops working efficiently, our muscle cells can't absorb and use amino acids the way they should. That slows down the repair and rebuilding of muscle tissue, making us more vulnerable to age-related muscle loss. Another hidden factor lies in the creamers and flavorings many of these drinks use. They often contain hydrogenated oils, a type of trans fat that's been repeatedly linked to chronic inflammation. And when that low-level inflammation lingers in the body, it interferes with muscle recovery, strength, and flexibility. For legs that already don't feel as nimble as they used to, That's a problem we can't ignore. There's also something else that often slips under the radar. Choosing a creamy, sugary coffee in the morning usually means we end up skipping or delaying our actual breakfast. And when that breakfast lacks quality protein, our muscles are left without the building blocks they need over time. This protein shortfall adds up, and so does the muscle loss. We can imagine an older adult walking out of the cafe with a large latte in hand, enjoying what feels like a well-earned morning treat. But behind that comforting ritual is a high dose of refined sugar and unhealthy fats. Things that do nothing to support leg strength, and may actually be chipping away at it little by little. Only in those who stuck with black coffee did researchers find stronger muscle-building activity. A 2024 study published in the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society showed that older adults who drank sweetened coffee daily had higher levels of inflammation and slower muscle protein synthesis, two key factors behind weaker legs and declining mobility. So how can we still enjoy coffee without putting our muscles at risk? We don't have to give it up altogether. The key is in how we prepare it. A diluted black coffee, or one made with a splash of low-fat, unsweetened milk, can still offer comfort without the sugar overload. If we're craving flavor, a pinch of cinnamon can add natural sweetness without raising blood sugar. Most importantly, coffee shouldn't replace breakfast. A light but balanced morning meal, maybe some eggs, oatmeal, or plain yogurt, gives our muscles the nutrients they need to stay strong. With just a small tweak in how we drink our coffee each morning, we can protect our legs and preserve muscle strength without giving up the drink we enjoy. It's not about cutting things out. It's about choosing smarter. Let's recap the 3 sneaky drinks that may be quietly weakening our legs. First, energy drinks dehydrate the body, throwing off our electrolyte balance and encouraging muscle inflammation. Second, boxed fruit juice high in sugar, stripped of fiber, and likely to spike blood sugar and interrupt muscle repair. And finally, sugary pre-made coffee piling on sugar and processed fats instead of fueling our morning with real nourishment. Now, the good news is, we don't need to quit these things cold turkey. All it takes is a few simple swaps: whole fruits instead of juice, black coffee instead of flavored lattes, and keeping our sugar and caffeine intake in check. If you found today's video helpful, be sure to like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe so you never miss future tips. And now, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever suspected a certain drink might be affecting your legs? Leave us a comment below. We'll see you in the next episode where we'll keep finding simple, natural ways to take care of our health. Together.